So we'll go from there. So good evening. Today is Thursday, April 18th, 2019. It is Thursday, and you know what that means? That's right. It's Leadership Thursday. And today we're going to talk about leadership and taking charge of a situation, So something's always going on. Something's always happening. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. I hope you can hear me well. If you cannot hear me, please say something. But if you can hear me, then we'll just continue. We're having issues with the microphone. Alrighty, so working on my new book. See, that's it. So I gotta populate the book. So I'm writing and working on the new thing. But I'm talking about leadership and taking charge of a situation. Today, well, every day there's always a situation. There's always something going on. It's standard. It's just the way it is. There's always things happening. There's good things, there's bad things. There's always breaking situations that are new, situations that are just repeating themselves. I know today I dealt with somebody who I knew better not to deal with or to kind of keep it down, but I dove in just a little too deep with that individual, and I'm kicking myself for it. But again, there are situations that they're interpersonal. There's situations that are involving everyone. There's situations that just involve a small group. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be a need for somebody to lead, to take charge in that situation. And that, well, why not you? Why can't it be you? You know, no matter if, like I said, if it's a small group, a large group, whatever, it has to be you. Now, others, if there is no, say, a situation is unfolded, a spur of the moment kind of thing, just it wasn't planned, it wasn't an event, and all of a sudden now there's a call for a leader, there's somebody to step up and be a leader, and there is no set chain of command, then by all means, that's you. Now, of course, there's going to be those individuals, and I have to call them out. There's going to be those individuals that say, well, I'm so-and-so, or I work here, or I do this. So by default, I'm a leader because I'm associated with that group, or I happen to do this other job, but with that group. It's one of those terms when I was in the military. I was infantryman. And I would always run across people, oh, we're basically infantry. And I was like, well, gee, I don't remember you going through the advanced infantry training course with me. Your MOS, your military occupational specialty, does not say you're an infantryman. So no, you are not basically an infantryman. And so that's what I'm getting at, is there's people that by default, well, I work here, therefore I must be doing this, or I have to be that. I was like, you know what? If you're a clerk at a hospital, does that make you a surgeon? No. So because of that, their egos, their vanity will call on them to step up and be leaders, but they're going to be quickly found out. And when they're quickly found out, well, guess what? They go back to the back of the line, go sit down, shut up, be quiet. It's time for somebody to step in, and that is you. So if you've got it, then you know what? You must put your ego and your vanity aside. You have to put your ego and vanity aside. And also, guess what? Don't wait to be asked. You step up. You say, you know what? Let's do this. Let's make this happen. But again, you have to have that confidence. And even if you have just a little bit, you've never stepped up, you've never done it. Now there's going to come a time when you're going to be called upon to step up and do it. So step up. Oh, and also don't wait for an opening. Make one. Make an opening. Don't look for a lull in the battle to say, okay, here's what we're going to do. No, you step in there and you make an opening and you do it. You drive it. Which ultimately what you want to be is you want to be the right person at the right time. That's right. You want to be the right person at the right time. And of course, like I said, follow the chain of command. And if it doesn't exist, well, guess what? You're it. You are it. I'm telling you now, you're it. If it does not exist, if there's nobody in the chain of command there, you exist. So step on it. Make it happen. Step it up. And let's see. Then more one you're in. You will have to. Oh, okay. So sorry about that. Couldn't even read my own handwriting. I took these notes down. I was like, oh, I wrote them down in a hurry. But once you get in, you're not going to have a lot of time, especially in an unfolding situation, in a real-time situation where you're not going to have time to prepare, practice. You're going to have minimal time, but you're going to have to observe. You're going to have to orient yourself. Pick a plan of action. Decide on a plan of action, and then you act on that action. That's the OODA loop, the OODA, observe, orient, decide, and act. You have to do it. Practice it. You might never, ever have to use it, but you know what? There's going to come a time when you're going to have to step up and say, you know what? I got this. And you know you got this. And you're going to deliver this. And people are going to turn to you. But the moment you say you got this and you don't, is the moment you're going to get found out as a fraud. And it's just that simple. So taking charge of a situation, no matter what it is, you have to be that person. You have to be that leader. You have to be Johnny on the spot, meaning, well, right person, right place, right time. And in the end, it's going to turn out to be that you're going to be the leader, not the leader they wanted, but the leader they needed, because you did step up and you stepped up and you took charge and you made a decisive action. You built a plan, you acted on it, and you made things happen, and you got the situation under control. Or you held it long enough in a controlled situation until somebody else in the chain of command could arrive, until somebody else that had a little bit more experience either stepped next to you and helped you along and made you gain that experience right then and there. Trial by fire, that's what that's called, trial under fire or trial by fire, or as in pretty much in the civilian world, it's called on-the-job training. On-the-job training. And trust me, that stepping up on-the-job training is the most valuable training you can get, because again, you're no longer reading books and put in hypothetical situations. You are now being put out there in the real world situation. And don't be afraid to call people out. Don't be afraid to call them on what they're doing or what they're supposed to be doing. And if they're not doing it, you as a leader have to call them on it. That's just part of the duty. But again, use a little tact. I know it's going to be crazy at first. That very first time, you're going to want to kind of just push people down. And that's okay. That's expected. But don't let it get out of hand. Let the experts do what they have to do. So if somebody has to go do an emergency, what's it called? Open heart surgery, go let them do it. Go let them do it, because it's got to get done. But what I'm getting at is, don't be saying like, shouldn't you be out there doing surgery? Shouldn't you be out there doing this? Shouldn't you be out there putting out the fire? No, don't do that. Don't be directing traffic. They know what to do. They just need somebody to refer back to. They need a guide. They need somebody who's going to guide them along through the tough times, to be the calm, cool, collected one. And that's going to be you, because again, if there's no one in the chain of command, or no one is stepping up in the right, proper manner, if all they're doing is for ego and vanity, they're going to get found out. You're the right person for the right job. So step up and do it. And folks, my name's Dave Guerra. It is Thursday, April 18, 2019. Have a great evening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be back on Friday. It's Passover. It's Great Friday. I'm sorry, Good Friday. I'll still be back, because we're going to close out the week with the Forbes Friday. And until then, have a great evening. I will talk to you later.